I'm John. Welcome to The Stammerer. This is a new podcast, and over the next few weeks, I hope to bring you some insight into the world of stammering and share some thoughts and some feelings and maybe some interviews. Thank you for listening. Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of The Stammerer. This week I've been thinking about what to really say and what to call the episode, and I think one of the reasoning for me to do this podcast and eventually admit that I do have a stammer and now look to promote this as much as I can is due to depression. Now, a few weeks back and even now, I got to a point in my life, and even though I have a wonderful wife, amazing children, and I got to a point where the anxiety and the stress of 33 years of stammering just, I guess, became too much. And about 5 weeks ago, and this may be hard to hear in case anyone I know is on here and they can hear this, is that I was in bed, and as I do, and opened my eyes, and it was just another day of stammering ahead, even though there was a period of fluency. Just one small thing when you've been thinking about this for a very long time. And I went to bed and didn't want to wake up the next day. And I opened my eyes and I took the kids to school, and the wife, she went off to work, and I lie in bed and I just thought to myself, I just can't do this anymore. I can't keep stressing about anxiety and people finding out that I stammer, or people find out and just feeling shameful. I've never spoke about this with anyone and kept 33 years of this inside my own head. And for the first time, I had this thought of I could just go and take some pills, and that would be the end of it. And it was at that point that I thought to myself, no, this is not right. This is not a place that I would like to be. And previous years, and as it transpires, after I called for help, so 111 really helped, and they put me in touch with a team, and eventually I spoke to the people at Mind. And Mind, if you've ever heard of them, are absolutely fantastic. And a big shout out and thank you to Paul at Mind, who just sat there for 3-4 weeks just speaking to me and being able just to open up about the last 30 years of trauma and just having to deal with things. Now, previous to this, I never really spoke about this, and after speaking with the GP, that I just couldn't, my brain just couldn't cope anymore with the anxiety and the stress. And before this happened, I was able to pick myself up again. So the I guess the pattern, if you like, for me was I would stammer, I would be on the floor for a few weeks, I would, you know, hate myself, you know, just not think I could do anything, and just feel so low, but able then to pick myself up again, start to talk, start to get fluency back again, and I would grow again, and the confidence would come back again, and then I'd be okay again for a couple of months, and then it could just be a word, or it could just be a phone call, or something in my own head, and again I'd be back in this place. And the cycle of, as it transpires, was a depressive stage. As every time I got down and I came back up again, it hurt every so often. And since I was probably 18, being so low, trying to do so much, wanting to aspire to be different things, and not having these opportunities, and hiding away from people, and from trying to be something, and not being true to me. Was never true to myself, and just being able to do things, or take jobs, or take the easy way out, because I didn't want people to know that I stammered. I felt ashamed. I felt like I wasn't as good as everybody else. The pressure I put upon myself, the anxiety that I put upon myself, just to have the ability to speak, and I got to a place where I wanted to end it all. And it's a really difficult thing to admit, and a really difficult thing to say, particularly when you have this amazing family, this amazing wife and children, and a home, and you have a car, and you have all these things around you. And it's the one thing that I've learned. I never really understood this, that when you are in that place, it doesn't matter, things and possessions and all the small things, like having the biggest TV, having the nicest car, having all these things that you think make you happy, and they really don't. And you can't see beyond the bad. And I just couldn't think anymore, and I just couldn't do anything anymore. And I started to talk to people, and trying to pick yourself up, and it's yet another fight. Every time I see stammering as a war, as a fight. You constantly battle, and you constantly fight a war against an enemy that you can't see, and you may win the battle, you may win the war, but the battle scars that you get from that fight they just add up. And there have been times within my life that there was a year back in, God, when I was 22, 23, where I went to work in a call centre, okay, answering phones, and I was fluent, and I mean properly fluent. And for the best part of 6 months, I could answer the phone. I was fluent. I could talk. I was confident. And I could talk. And just this, for those 6 months were the best 6 months of my speaking life. I could talk. I worked in a company where you had to answer the telephone, and I answered the phone and fluid, and I couldn't believe I believed I was cured at that point, and I don't know why, what set of circumstances, what who, what, why, but I appeared to be cured. And then this one particular day, and I'd been there for 6 months and I was absolutely fine, and just this one day, just this one call, and I sort of stammered slightly, and then the seeds of doubt came back, and they came back stronger and stronger, until in the very end I had a call, and I got up from my desk, I walked down the stairs, and I left, and I never came back. And I just left on that day. After that call, I just knew that I could no longer, and I loved that job, I just could no longer do that job. Instantaneously knew. And the company tried to call me, they tried to get me to come back, and they couldn't understand why I just upped and left. And I couldn't explain to them, because I couldn't. I was too embarrassed, too ashamed, and for whatever reason it came back, and ever since then it sort of stuck. So there was a period of time after that where I just spiraled down and down and down, and then I managed to get another job, and then I come back up again. The confidence is up, but every few months, maybe up to a year, there could be an event at work, and you just you say the wrong thing, or people, or you just try not to, or you avoid. You spend half your life as a stammer, as you avoid, you try to hide. So there would be a party at work, and I would hide until I'd had enough beer to feel the confidence to be able to talk to people, or I would just sort of try and avoid the senior people, because they'd ask, "Who are you?" And I'd be so itching to go and speak to these people, because I as I've said in another episode, I am an extrovert, and I want to go and speak to these people, and and in my mind I want to make a splash and influence, and try to aspire to be more than me. And I just couldn't. I'd be so much planning to talk to these people, to particularly in the industry, and be able to talk to these amazing people, put these amazing minds, but just not having the confidence to just be able to just say, "Hello, my name's John," and just being able just to walk up to somebody at a workplace and just speak to them. So for a long, long time, I just sort of hid away, or I would be able to do the physical work, but not be able to talk, and this happened for a long, long time, and it's happened until now, and I just don't know what the catalyst was for this particular time, where I just had enough. I'm probably the most fluent I've been in a long time, and I don't know if it was just stress or something that happened, and you just break down and you can't see the wood for the trees. So fast forward 6 weeks, and after talking and admitting now that I have a stammer, one of the hardest things for me was to open up and to talk about it. And I remember on the day when I had to tell work, and the workplace where have been absolutely fantastic, and they just supported me the whole way through. And then you dread having to tell people something that you've kept hidden for all that time, and they're so supportive, and your peers around you, and you just it fills you with regret that why didn't you do this before? Why did you go through this all by yourself? And it's because I didn't get the help. I didn't understand. You know, I went through life trying to get through it all by myself, and I put this out there, and I say to you, if you've heard any of the episodes and you feel like you're alone, and you feel like you're embarrassed, and you feel this anxiety, and you've been in the same place that I have, just please open up. And as I said before, if you want to talk to me or somebody at Stammer, or just call a friend, or just speak to anybody and just get this off your chest, because you don't have to deal with this. You don't have to handle this on your own. This is not something that you have to do. You are not inferior. You just need some help. And that's the one thing that I've learned, and after talking to other people that have a stammer, and you're in a conversation, and you're with people that understand, and that's where the position I've never been in before is talking to people that understand where you are, the things that you've been through, the things that have happened, the experiences, and you're in a safe space. And the depression aspect of it for me was, it's still something now that I have to fight. I have to fight this thing that I've learnt, and I have to now retrain my brain to not hide away, to talk about it, to help other people. And it's something now that has sparked off in me, and I hope that other people can hear this, and it sparks something in them to help to people, to talk to people. You genuinely are not alone, and if you suffer from anything to do with mental health, again, please call up somebody, please speak to somebody. There are, and this doesn't just apply to men, this applies to anybody, but there is a current spate of young men who end their lives, and again, you really, please, just, if you feel like you need to reach out to me, there'll be a link in the description. Please feel free to let me know, and I can put you in touch with anyone that can help you. And this is a little bit of a shorter episode this week, and again, I really thank you for hearing me and allowing me to speak to you. And as always, I will see you again soon. Take care and goodbye.